Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Thank You for Coming right here on 2MB Studios. My name is Mike Carr. I am your host for the show, and it's Sunday night. It's 7 o'clock. So where else could you be? Well, it's 7 o'clock where I am. It's not 7 o'clock where one of our guests is, which we'll get to in just a moment. It's like mid-afternoon where she is. So like she's taking time out of her day where she could be doing other important things to do this. So we're very excited to have her later. Thank you very much for everyone who's here. I see we got lots of people piping up in the chat. We got Loaf, the Wonder Bread, as always, bringing the heat. Love it. Joe, thank you, Joe, for watching the show. Those are they look like tacos, but I think they're celebration ribbons. Yeah, if you're here in the chat, throw up some hellos. Say hi in the chat. Let us know that you're here because we're going to need you for the show. We're going to need to get some suggestions from you as the show's going on, specifically locations where a scene can take place. You can start throwing those in the chat now, and then we're going to grab one for our scene. If this is your first time watching the show, first of all, thank you for being here. This is how it works. We have two improvisers backstage who are ready to improvise, but they've never met. They've never played together. This will be their first time. So it's kind of like a festival. It's like an improv festival in a way. You would meet people from all across the country, all across the world, and then do a show together. Thankfully, we have two wonderful improvisers tonight who are going to take the stage in just a moment. Before I bring them on, I do want to say thank you to 2MB Studios for all the great work that they do. And thank them for letting us do this show every Sunday because it's a lot of fun. I get to see improvisers who I used to play with at a different time in my life, and I have them join people who I played with recently. And that's what tonight is. Tonight is two very talented improvisers who I know from two very different parts of my improv life, and I get to watch them make magic together. So I'm going to bring them out because it's time. It's just time. It's time. So first, I want to bring out a friend of mine who I met in improv classes when we were just fresh-faced babies in the world of improv, and now we're seasoned adult veteran improvisers. I don't know why I just said that. It was a dumb thing to say, but I like it. She's an incredible director, performer, writer. She runs Curious Comedy in Portland, Oregon. Please give it up for Stacey Hallal.
Hello. Wow. I feel so seasoned.
I use the word seasoned too much. I use it way too much. I don't know why I use it. I'm like, seasoned improvisers. That sounds good. How are you?
I'm good. I am good. It is the thing about this time of day is it's siesta time between
so you're
3 and 5.
So I'm taking you away from a nap. Oh man, I'm the worst.
That's the important thing I would be doing probably if I weren't.
Yeah.
So this is probably a good thing to keep me awake through the day so I can sleep at night.
See, I'm trying to help you out, friend. Trying to help you out.
Yeah.
You got a shout out about your setup. We were talking about this before the show started, how awesome your setup looks.
So thank you. Yeah, we've been working really hard as obviously M2B, too much
2MB.
2M
Too much bread.
Too much bread. I got it, but I can't put the letters in the right way.
You'd be napping right now. Your body is like, I'm supposed to be asleep.
Exactly. But yeah, we've been trying to put together a little setup so that, we're assuming we're going to be closed another year at Curious. So how can we produce some things that are easy to watch, easy to hear? So you're all using StreamYard, which I think is great. Ecamm Live's another great thing. So that's what we've been playing with because we're Mac based.
Nice. Well, everyone in the chat, Loaf loves. Is that a plant? That's what she wants to know.
It's a giant aloe plant.
Oh, nice.
And it looks like an octopus shoved upside down in a jar. To me, but yeah,
I can see that.
It's a giant aloe plant, and then I've also got I don't know how well you can see that. Which way? This way. Clint Eastwood. I got that in a white elephant at Curious, and it's one of my most prized possessions.
That is fantastic. Yes, Julie, I do want to plant for my setup at some point. So we'll work on that at another time. But right now, I want to bring out your scene partner. This is another phenomenal improviser who I got to work with at Improv Boston. This person is she runs her own theater as well, Entropy Theater Company. She's also we performed together at the Improv Boston National Touring Company. Please welcome Kayleigh Kane.
Hi,
Kayleigh. You have a plant behind you as well.
I do. Yes. Thank you. I don't know what kind it is. Not sure.
That's okay. you don't need to know. I mean,
I know. I just wish I had some fun facts for you.
It looks like a philodendron.
That could be true. That could be right. It's quite long. It reaches almost to the ground now. It's been growing for many years, 8 years, maybe close to 8 years.
What? That's impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely our most impressive plant around here.
Well, it's I like how it frames the light switch as it hangs down. That's very cool.
Yeah, you have to. For a while, we were like weeding through every day to get to our light switch, and more recently, we decided, you know what, it's time to arrange the plant in a way that makes sense.
All right. Well, I love it. Apparently, I may be getting a plant in a moment.
Wow.
Don't make a promise if you're not going to follow through on it, Julie. All right? Bring me a plant.
You have incredible production
Like
support.
Julie, will you bring me a shade? I need a shade like Mike's.
Oh, this? Yeah. Normally, I have I have a background up, so you can't see this beautiful wall that I sit next to. But the green screen, it's in the shop. That just means it's in the other room, and I didn't set it up. So, Kayleigh, meet Stacey. Stacey, meet Kayleigh.
Hi, Stacey.
Hi, Kayleigh. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm so excited to play the game of prov with you today.
Me too, with you.
Oh. Very good. So, it's green. Hold on. It's disappearing.
That's amazing. That's so funny.
That's
to prove
incredible.
that you normally do have a green screen.
Yes, that's proof.
Wow. I can't take my eyes off of it.
It's really fun.
It looks like a poinsettia, but it wouldn't all be green.
That's why you got these little guys here. I don't know if it's a poinsettia. Julie will probably answer momentarily in the chat.
Okay. Julie, what is it?
It's actually, Joe's right. It's a camouflage plant. It grows naturally in nature.
It's doing really well.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, Florida's been good for it. The heat is nice for camouflage, so it helps to grow.
I
Sure.
like that it's camouflage as brick, though. It's an urban kind of.
It's designed for cities, or Ivy League schools.
Amazing.
Oh, it's a fern's nest. Okay, very good.
Fern's nest.
You can tell. I should have made that you can win a prize if you can tell just by the shape. Like if you can tell by the shape of the leaf what kind of plant it is.
That would be a fun segment on your show, Mike. Just bringing out different shapes of plants.
Different green things. And I'm like, tell me what it is based on the shape.
I think it's kind of its own show concept.
It really is. Doesn't have a lot to do with our goals here, but is a fun idea.
But that's what the beautiful thing about this show is. We bring creative, funny people together, and we create new creative, funny things. So stick around, not tonight, but maybe in a couple of weeks for Guess What's Green. That's going to be the working title of the show. So before we get started, we're gonna get to know each other a little bit before we improvise. And what better way to do that than by asking silly icebreaker questions that are straight out of Improv 101 classes that we always ask to students to kind of break the ice. So I've got a couple questions. I'll ask you each a couple questions. And in the chat, if you have some fun icebreaker questions, throw them in there as well. And then you're going to ask each other an icebreaker question. So the first icebreaker question is going to be for you, Stacey. And it's going to be, if you have to sing karaoke, what's your go-to karaoke song?
It's very hard for me to choose because I barely remember choruses and I certainly can never conjure the verses. But I would say David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust is my go-to. Because I know that song inside and out. I've probably listened to that song more than any other song. Excellent. Yeah.
Kayleigh, same question. You're going karaoke. What's your go-to song?
Yeah, it depends a little bit on the vibe, the mood, how deep into the night we are, but I can tell you with certainty that it comes from Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill album. It's really wherever on that album I'm falling is my karaoke song.
That is a great answer. We have a question from the chat. If you were a plant, what plant would you be? Loaf, good question. I would obviously be the plant that I have. So Kayleigh, if you could be a plant, what plant would you be?
Oh, I think I've displayed what my plant knowledge is this evening. I think if I were a plant, I would probably be a tree that bends in the breeze. A willow tree.
Okay.
Typically, I think related with sadness. Now that I'm saying it, I'm not sad, but I am billowy.
I'm convinced.
I'm sticking with my answer.
No, it's a great answer. Yeah, definitely stick with it. Stacey, if you could be any plant, what plant would you be?
First, I'm trying to figure out, is every willow tree a weeping willow tree, or is that a specific kind of willow tree? That's a question I hope someone looks up for us and lets us know in the chat.
That would be great.
Because I'm not going to be able to focus on our improv unless I get the answer to that question.
So chat, get to it.
Yeah. I would probably be an apple tree, is where I grew up, where you grew up, where we grew up, Mike Carr.
Yes.
We're both Massachusetts natives. There's a lot of apple trees in Massachusetts, and especially in the town I grew up in. And I just always had a great affinity for apple trees. They're beautiful and delicious.
Mm. Kayleigh, are you
trying to say I'm beautiful and delicious, but that I would like to be beautiful and delicious?
I am, Mike. I am from Massachusetts and also here now.
Wait,
yes.
So Kayleigh, you're also a Massachusetts native?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Groton, Massachusetts.
Okay. Great. Sorry, Mike, if I was diverting the format.
What town are you from, Stacey?
Divert.
I'm from Chelmsford, Mass. Up by
my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. So close.
Yeah, it's amazing. If we were anywhere close in age, we might have played basketball together.
So many things would have needed to be different about my life for me to be playing basketball with you, Stacey. But it sounds like great fun.
If you had different interests, were a different age, and were motivated by your parents to join organized sports, we might have played basketball together.
That is so true.
Awesome.
That's not a lot to change. That's like 2 steps. Boom.
That's just a couple things.
Yeah. All right, Stacey, you have a question for Kayleigh that I asked you both to think of some silly icebreaker questions. So Stacey, what question have you been dying to ask Kayleigh?
I was wondering, Kayleigh, if you have an opportunity to take a 2-week journey of any kind, like a little break, a little vacation, money, no object, what type of are you a beach lay around in the sun person? Are you a walk across Thailand person? Are you forest, desert, mountain? What's your thing?
This is such a good question, Stacey, because I feel that I am all of those people. I think what I would want to do if I had 2 weeks, and 2 weeks wouldn't be enough time to do every single one, but I would love to just do a slew of national parks. I love visiting national parks. I'd love to collect some more. And the cool thing about national parks is that we are lucky enough to have all of those different kinds of natural environments in our parks.
True.
It's something I really appreciate.
Excellent.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice. Kayleigh, I know you have a question that you've been itching to ask Stacey.
I do. I love icebreaker questions. It was hard for me to narrow it down, but what I finally settled on, Stacey, based on the very, very little that I know about you, is what I'd like to ask is, do you have any superstitions? What are they? And that's my question.
That's a great question. I'm so old now. I feel like my superstitions, I'm not even conscious. Like I can do them unconsciously. So I'm trying to remember. I used to have a lot more when I played basketball, just to call that back.
Oh, yeah.
I used to always do a handstand before a game. I would just have to do a handstand up against the wall. But currently, the only one that's coming to mind is, well, I have a few. I don't like it if anyone says, don't do this. like don't drive your car into a tree. I'm very superstitious that I have this rebellious nature. So if you say something to me in that way, that my unconscious will want to do it. So there's that. And I have this superstition around Tuesdays that if you're ever reaching out to an employer or a contact or, anything in the business world, that Tuesday is the day to do it.
I think that's a good
right?
rule to
Monday,
live
you're
by.
like just getting in, Tuesday, you're finally sort of focused and settled and feel sort of fresh. And then by Wednesday, you're starting to think about that weekend. And then Friday, you're trying to catch up before the weekend comes.
That's so true.
That makes so much sense because Thursdays, I don't know, when I was, doing Monday to Friday work, Thursdays I was just mad because I was like, it's not Friday. And like, I'm just mad. I'm just mad all day. So if you emailed me on a Thursday, I was probably not responding to it well.
Yeah, that just sounds like a reasonable habit, Like on Tuesdays, even if you don't get to something, then the next day is Wednesday, which I feel like you're still holding on to the productivity of the week. That seems like your best case scenario to reach out about something on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also because Wednesday's the middle of the week, it's also like, oh, I can see the horizon. I'm like at the top of hump day for a reason. I can see over the mountain. There's the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. But you're also feeling like, oh, I have so much to do before the weekend. So how about you, Kayleigh? Do you have any superstitions?
Yeah.
So the reason I asked you, Stacey, is because Mike told me that you have a theater, and I know that in the theater there are a lot of superstitions, and some of them I put no stock into. Like there's a certain plays that you're not supposed to say the names of backstage. I don't like that one. I don't know why. I don't care for it, and I don't think it's real. But I would never wish someone good luck. And I don't know if that's a superstition or if it's just me wanting to respect others, because a lot of people, they don't like to be wished luck. You say in the theater, break a leg is what you say to people, which would be rude anywhere else. But that's something that I've always followed. No good luck.
It falls right in line with my whole thing, because if you say break a leg, then the person wants to rebel against that. And they're like, not only am I not going to break a leg, I'm going to crush this performance with everything I have, right? You trigger them wanting to do the opposite of break a leg.
And theater practitioners are, I think, most frequently very rebellious people by nature.
Authoritarian. Yeah, which makes being a manager of a theater super fun. People are so anti-authoritarian.
Oh boy.
just something I gotta keep in mind.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm now going to. I need the Twitch chat to start giving me some suggestions. So if you want to start throwing in some locations of where a scene could take place, start putting those in the Twitch chat. So where you'd like to see Kayleigh and Stacey do a scene. I'm thinking now about saying break a leg to people that are not in theater and just seeing how they react to it. Like before, like someone starts their shift at like a supermarket, go, hey, break a leg out there, and
break
just
a leg today.
hey, break a leg. You just see the reaction.
I think people, it's a common enough phrase that I think that everyone would know what you meant. But I think even saying good luck to someone before a supermarket shift would be ominous. If someone's about to stock shelves and you're like, good luck out there. Yeah. I think that people are already going to be nervous.
Oh my God. Is it crazy? Is it bad? Are there sharks here today? What's happening?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
I think you're right. Break a leg would be like, that's weird to say, but good luck would be like, oh man, you know something that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Speaking of agreed, we have agreed on a suggestion. We've got greenhouse, and Loeb says, dare I say greenhouse?
Wow.
So there we go. So,
agreement.
Great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So this scene is going to take place between the two of you in a greenhouse. One of you will say thank you for coming to start the scene, and then we'll just play. And then I'll be back after the scene, and we'll chat a little bit. So I'm going to pop you both into the green room. So say goodbye for now. And they will be back to do a scene in a greenhouse. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. I'm really embarrassed.
You shouldn't be embarrassed.
I'm very embarrassed.
You really shouldn't be. It could happen to anyone. I mean it.
You worked so hard to get this whole thing set up, and I spent a lot of money getting this constructed, and you helped consult on each of the plants we chose.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there are just so few that are still alive.
But there are some that are still alive. And I really think, Barb, I really think we should focus on the positives here. It's not good to dwell on dead plants. It's bad luck, and it's bad for your heart.
And I killed 600 plants.
I know.
600 baby plants.
I know.
If somebody else had adopted them, they might have grown, thrived, and had progeny.
Yes.
And instead they are withered, brown.
They died only as sproutlings.
They were so limp at first. I thought they were just sleeping. I didn't want to bother you. I don't know what's wrong. My grandmother told me that I would never, ever be able to keep a plant alive. And she's right.
No. Barb, listen. Do you know why I put you in charge of this greenhouse?
I really don't. I've been asking myself that every day.
Barb, look at me. Look at me, Barb. There's a reason I put you in charge of this greenhouse. When we were expanding the farmer's market, I said, I know exactly who to put in charge of this greenhouse. And it wasn't the person who knew the most about plants. And it wasn't the person who has the best memory. And it wasn't the person who knows all the scientific names of all the plants we were growing. And it wasn't somebody who knows about caring for those plants with those scientific names. And it wasn't somebody with the most experience, Barb. It wasn't any of those people. It was you.
It was me. Why?
Because, Barb, how many years have I been running this farmer's market?
26 years.
26 years, Barb. 26 years running the farmer's market, 26 years tending crops of my own, 26 years of mothering plants. And the most important thing is that you love them.
Oh, I did love them, though. I that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Stripey Heart. This one with the stripey heart leaves.
The stripey heart. Well, the scientific name for that is Striopodis heartis.
Wow. It's like my nickname for it in the actual name.
It's very close. And that's how I know you have the instinct for this, Barb. If you stick at it, if we get 600 more sprouts in here, I bet this time, maybe even 10 make it out alive.
I can stick it out. But I don't know. I mean, I've been having nightmares about these plants. And they've been coming at me like plant zombies.
Oh, yeah.
And I really feel like maybe you had something against these plants, Anne. Like, I feel like you're Hitman. I feel like you're the Godfather, and these plants did something to you, and you gave them to me because you knew this is what was going to happen. You did this on purpose.
Who told you?
I mean, the writing's on the wall.
Oh, I shouldn't have written it on the wall. I really didn't think you would look at the wall, Barb.
Well, I couldn't see it behind the ivy until the ivy died. But you should have thought of that, and you should have thought about I'd be able to read every word of your diabolical plan.
Okay. To tell you the truth, Barb, this was all a part of my scheme. You came in late on a Wednesday 2 weeks ago, and I thought I'd teach you a lesson about responsibility this way by making you kill almost 600 plants. I read it in a management book.
For coming in late?
Yeah, Barb, I thought the easiest way, instead of saying, hey, Barb, could you make sure you don't come in late on Wednesdays because that's the day I have my gout appointments, I decided that
on Wednesdays, my dog daycare doesn't open till right when I'm supposed to be at work. You know that I have to drop off the puppies before
Barb,
I come in.
Barb, my podiatrist only works on Wednesdays. What? How? This is why I made you kill 569 plants, Barb.
You're just not a good person, Anne.
Barb, I said you had the heart for plant care. That was literally the best compliment I've ever given to an employee.
But then you set me up to kill them all, Anne. Now I see you got a lot of faces.
I do. I was really gonna let you be triumphant next time, Barb. I was gonna let you win the plants, you know? I was gonna make them turn out all okay next time so that you could feel good and triumphant and successful.
If you have the power to control whether these plants live or die despite what I'm doing, you don't even need me at all.
Oh, Barb, I need you.
I'm just your little plaything. I'm just another plant. I'm just a little plant that you prune and make grow in the directions that you want it to go in, that you shape and form like a bonsai.
Barb, you are so right. Oh my gosh. I'm really just realizing this about myself.
I spent so much money on this greenhouse. I wanted to be a part of something new. That market is a pillar in this community.
Yes, my 26-year-old farmer's market.
It's the heart of this community. Everybody thinks you're such a good person, that you just want to bring people together with fresh plants and produce.
But
I don't know. I think you just like having all of us where you want us.
Barb, let me tell you something. This community is like a garden. It's like a community garden. And if you don't prune plants carefully, they will overgrow. If you don't trim their leaves in the right way, Barb, do you know what happens? They don't produce fruits anymore. Barb, do you know what happens if you don't water your community and make sure the roots are all growing in the right directions? The roots will grow in the wrong directions. Barb, I have to control this community because I love my town. Barb?
This is my greenhouse.
Barb, that was an investment opportunity. You can't kick me out of this
greenhouse. And guess what? Not only am I going to make this mine and only mine, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get 600 fresh plants, and I'm going to read on the internet how to take care of those plants.
Barb.
And I'm going to start my own market.
Barb, there has never been a competing farmer's market.
Guess what days and times my market's going to be open, Anne?
No. Oh.
Yeah.
Wednesday through Saturday,
Yeah.
9 to 3, but 10 to 3 on Wednesdays.
That's right. That's right. And we'll see who really has heart. And I'm going to let that community garden grow in whichever way it wants to. And it'll be survival of the fittest. If it's hot and the watermelons want to squash the zucchini, that's fine. But if it's a cold summer, well, maybe that zucchini will just run crazy and that watermelon will only get so far. But you know who will decide? Each of those plants, each of those people for themselves.
That's just fine, Barb. But let me tell you one thing. When those plants grow too tall and too strong and too leafy, and the zucchinis are too also long, and the watermelons are too heavy for you to lift off the ground, they're going to come to you, Barb, and they're going to say, we're starting our own greenhouse. And when that happens, just make sure you visit Anne's Farmer's Market and you say you were right.
It's never going to happen.
Oh, the vicious cycle of farmers markets.
Well, it felt so Portland to me. It felt so at home. People fighting over their farmers markets.
Oh boy,
Their own.
Those were two such strong characters.
Oh. God. Gout appointments. Barb and Anne. Yep, the farmers market succession plan. I'm with you, JT. That scene was also making me very hungry as well. Especially when the zucchinis get too long. It's a very plant heavy night here on Thank You for Coming, which is always nice, you know. It's a nice change of pace. So fun to watch the two of you play.
That was so fun. That was such a blast.
Yeah, those characters were incredibly they were viscerally real. I don't know how to explain it, but you both came out of the gate and I'm like, oh, I see these people. I see them standing in front of me already.
Yeah, I felt like I knew both of them intimately very quickly.
My grandmother really did tell me that, actually through a psychic, my grandmother told me that the psychic started laughing and she goes, she's a firecracker. She was going to say get a plant, but she said you're just going to kill it anyway, so don't bother. And I was like, that is something my grandmother would have said.
Wow. The sassiest of wisdom.
Yeah.
That's the way wisdom should be delivered, in the sassiest of forms. That's how it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we did learn the extent of Kayleigh's plant knowledge tonight, which is great.
Yeah.
We're all learning a lot about plants. Just wanted to bring my old friend back in.
It's such a sight to behold.
It really is. It's a thing. It's a thing. So that was a lot of fun. The two of you just playing together, and immediately you both seemed like you both got so comfortable with each other right away. Like watching you would not have known. Like obviously playing online is weird. It's a weird thing that we're all dealing with, but it was not in any way like watching two people play it for the first time. It was like, oh, the two of you get each other. Like you you fell right into a great rhythm. How did it feel for you playing with each other for the first time?
I was wondering why you paired me with her, because it was a nightmare.
I knew. Yeah.
Just challenging difficult.
I brought it. I felt like I really brought it and made her look good. And that's the sign of a true good improviser. No,
A seasoned improviser, please.
That's right.
Seasoned.
No, it was very easy to play with you, Kayleigh. You're very fun. And I was definitely choking down some laughs I didn't want to break. Trying to break less. But there were several times you got this like trill in your voice when she was getting really intense with me and I was gonna lose it and start laughing.
Yeah, I just had a blast. I can see why Mike put us together, because the second we came on screen, I could tell you were just like deep in a character, and I was like, oh, perfect. That makes it just feel so easy for me. I love someone who's committed to character, and I loved playing with you, Stacey.
Yay, let's do some more sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I need to scroll back for a second to find a suggestion for the three of us to play a scene.
We're gonna play more right now.
Yeah, the three of us are going to dive into a scene. But while I'm doing that, please, I know that the both of you are you run your own theaters, respectively, and Stacey, you run Curious Comedy, and you also were creator of All Jane No Dick. Yes, is that correct?
Yes, it's now just All Jane Comedy Festival.
All Jane, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and Kayleigh, you run Entropy Theater, which does improv, or does it mostly focus on scripted work?
Mostly focused on scripted work, and we've also done devised, which is kind of like using improv as like a process to create a scripted or a set product.
Very nice. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. I also feel like the two of you, especially Kayleigh, the work that you've done, and I had the benefit of learning from you a lot about the intimacy directors, and you being an intimacy director. That is such an important part of theater, and I'm excited to see that becoming a larger part of the entertainment world as well. And I don't know, just the two of you as just seasoned theater owners, I thought you would hit it off well.
Yeah,
okay,
we weren't friends already, Kayleigh. So
I know. And Stacey, I've heard of your festival before, so I'm looking forward to following that closely now.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have it again.
Yeah, someday.
All right, so we're going to dive into a scene now. The three of us are going to do a scene. We don't have to say thank you for coming, but we're just going to be in one place together, and that place is going to be an operating room.
Ooh.
The three of us will be in an operating room.
Does anybody want to kind of get us rolling? Because I sort of had a big breakfast.
Yes, doctor.
Sure.
Typically, the doctor asks us for what we do.
Okay, yeah. Sure.
Should we, for example, maybe give this dog a little anesthesia?
Yes. Yes, that would be a great first step. Do you want to take care of that?
Sure. How does having a large breakfast affect your ability to remember how to do your job?
I'm just kind of, it's so hot in here. Do you ever feel like it's hot in here?
I mean, it is warm. I have felt that way. Sure.
Maybe we could turn down the thermostat. I
don't think the hospital gives nurses and doctors control over the temperatures, but
right.
Maybe do you have some layers you could take off, or
layers?
I guess I'll cool you down.
I'll help.
That's good. Thanks. Thank you both. Okay, that's another check in the old box. So what have we done so far? We've done the Anis.
Yeah, I gave the dog a local, and it's going to be, it's, he's out.
A local, good. And we also we cooled me off a little, so that's gonna definitely serve us well in this.
I just want to double check because usually a local doesn't involve. I think we should make sure this dog isn't just calmly laying there, because a local doesn't usually involve the dog going under.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I don't want to overstep at all.
No. They said
It's usually a general or a locals when you don't need to go.
Yeah. Is it? I think it's a little cold in here right now. I feel like it's a little cold, actually.
Do you want me to warm you up a little bit?
That might be helpful.
Here,
yeah.
Let me just.
Yeah. It's still.
I'll help.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
There you go. A little.
That's better. That's better. Yeah. So, general. Yeah. General.
General. That makes way more sense. I wasn't thinking. It was an egg burrito.
So you two are new
doctors.
New doctors to the area.
New doctors to the area.
New doctor.
Area, not new doctors. Seasoned doctors.
It's a good word.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been doctor. I've been a dog doctor.
Dog doctor.
Dog doctor for a long time. I dabble in cats.
I did a bird once.
I don't understand why.
It's not a laughing matter. This dog's in pain.
Not laughing, and also, I've never met a veterinarian who only dabbled in one species. Specialized.
Dr. Douglas is what you would call a specialist.
Yeah, I'm Dr. David Douglas, dog doctor.
Yeah.
Specialist. I'm a specialist in dogs. I focus all kinds of dogs. Big dogs, little dogs you put in your bags.
And I'm gonna go get you something cold to drink, and I'll go get you something warm to drink, and then maybe we can start fresh.
Perfect.
Sure.
Perfect.
That'd be great.
I'll be perfect.
We're gonna have to cut this dog open.
I know. I thought I should have said general. I knew that it was general.
Listen, Douglas, I don't think if getting the veterinarian's discount is worth this.
Don't say that. Don't back. We're too in too deep. We're in too deep.
Okay.
Thanks.
Here's a little ice water and a little.
Thank you so much. I always like to be the right temperature.
Yeah, you can't. One time we were working on a horse, and the room was not climately controlled, and we lost it. We lost him.
I think this, I don't want to step on any toes, but I think that you're only really got so much time with this anesthetic. So
because general, we got to use the general anesthetic.
Someone is going to have to get the ball rolling, Dr. Douglas.
So here's like the scalpel.
Thank you so much. This reminds me of a story I'd like to tell.
Oh.
Of another dog that was also under general.
I remember this dog.
It had the same condition as this one.
Yeah, the same internal.
And condition. Nurse, do you know what we did to save it? Take a guess.
Surgery that we're supposed to be performing right now?
That's exactly right.
Can you guess what the first move of that surgery was?
Try and guess.
putting the animal under general anesthesia.
Yeah. And then guess what we did next?
Yeah. Guess.
You made the incision over the kidney.
That's what I was afraid you were going to say. That's exactly what we did.
Here, I can show you if you want.
Oh, if you want to.
If you just put the incision, I've watched this so many times. I always thought I'd be good at it. See, and then if you could get me some gauze.
Oh yeah. Here you
go. Of course. Yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you. And we just put that in here.
Right.
And then we cut out. Stuff. You just cut this little tumor out. Here, right, you put that in a jar. Somebody.
Just throw it in the trash. We don't need to save. Okay. We don't need to use every part of the dog here. Yuck.
And now I just need a needle and some thread, and I can close this incision. And
yep. Needle and
I have a small sewing kit.
Douglas always carries a sewing kit. Once I lost a button and
I whipped it right back on.
Busted it out and got that button back on.
I keep it in my Nana's old change purse with a little clasp at the top. It's
very cute. I don't know if you caught a glimpse.
A lot of veterinarians, veterinarian vets, we use it.
And there it is. Looks pretty good.
Dr. Douglas, we've done it again.
We're great dog doctors.
We're the best dang dog doctors in the world.
We're also dog doctors.
I was trying to say
dog doctors. All for a veterinarian's discount. Where?
All for the discount.
Where is that discount?
I imagine we were saving like 15 cents on a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it was not an important discount, but we were like, we're getting it because we never get anything. Raj Gentlemen, yes, it was funny and upsetting. But thankfully, Stacey saved the dog. Like, the dog was fine.
The dog was fine. I love that we chose that ending together.
Yeah.
We're the best dog. I gotta take my dog to the dog doctor pretty soon. It's his time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone put little puppies up. That's so cute. So before we go, and we do have to end the show because there is another show coming up tonight at 8:00. There's a premiere of a brand new show here on 2MB Studios. Caitlin Buckley is Lost in Sketch. It's a brand new sketch comedy show right here on 2MB Studios that starts in just 10 minutes. So you're going to stick around for that, people, because it's going to be great.
Definitely do.
So Stacey, Kayleigh, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Had so much fun playing with you, watching the two of you play. Do you have any parting words for the audience? And that can be a plug or anything to say to anybody who's watching.
Just thanks for having me, and thanks for playing with me, Kayleigh. It was definitely a pleasure.
Thanks so much, Stacey. My only plug is just stick around for the 8:00 show. It's going to be amazing. Thanks so much for having me, Mike, and thanks for playing, Stacey.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Stick around, watch that show. Stacey, Kayleigh, thank you for coming.